Welcome to another edition of the Montezuma County Sheriff's Office Weekly Update on Mesa Media Productions. I'm Detective Lieutenant Tyson Cox. First thing that we would like to talk about this week is the Sheriff's Office Mounted Patrol did have the recovery of a lost hiker down in Sand Canyon on Monday afternoon. We got a call into dispatch that there was a hiker lost down in Sand Canyon, had been separated from his group. The Sheriff's Office Mounted Patrol was dispatched to that location, and they were able to ride in and recover the lost hiker from Phoenix. So we would like to congratulate Detective Yvonne McClellan and Deputy Donnie Brown on their diligent work of recovering that hiker down in Sand Canyon. We'd also like to talk about this week, we get a number of calls every week into the Sheriff's Office regarding concealed weapons permits and how that works and what the costs are. So we decided this week we're going to cover some of that information. That way you're as educated as you can possibly be before you go take your class and pay money to get your CCW permit. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about the requirements that must be met to possess a CCW permit in the state of Colorado. You must be 21 years of age. You must be a resident of Colorado or a member of the armed forces stationed here in Colorado and have an immediate family member living in Colorado. Those are a couple of the requirements. We get a lot of questions. If I have a medical marijuana card, can I possess a CCW? The state has said no. If you are in possession of a medical marijuana card, you cannot possess a concealed weapons permit, just due to the language in the law regarding the use of substances and marijuana still being federally illegal. So just to kind of clarify that a little bit, we get a bunch of questions on that. As far as if you do possess a medical marijuana card, you cannot possess a CCW permit in the state of Colorado. So how it works is the first thing you must do is you must take a class and show proficiency in firearms. The sheriff asked me to remind everybody that as part of that proficiency in that class, you must shoot as part of the instruction course. And also, not only shoot, but it must include at least one reload. There's not a set number of rounds you must fire, but to show proficiency with the firearm, you must shoot the firearm and perform at least one reload as part of that class. So when you're looking for a class to take, please go to the Sheriff's Office website. We do have a list of approved CCW instructors and classes with contact information on there that you can get a hold of those folks and set up to take your CCW class. Understand that once you take your CCW class, that your permit is then valid for 5 years. And then as you're coming up to the end of those 5 years, within 120 days prior to the expiration of your CCW permit, you can obtain the renewal paperwork and then get your CCW renewed. You do have to, on Thursdays are the days to come to the Sheriff's Office and turn in your application. The application can be found on the Sheriff's Office website. Come in on Thursdays starting at 7 a.m. until 4 p.m. You'll get your fingerprints, turn in your application, and then that goes off then to CBI. They do perform the background on your CCW application, and once that background is complete and it's all good to go, then that application comes back to the Sheriff's Office and your permit is then signed off and issued by the sheriff. So Sheriff Dallin signs off on all of the CCW permits within Montezuma County. And just to kind of give you an idea on the fees that are associated with the CCW permits, you must bring a money order or cashier's check to the Montezuma County Sheriff's Office in the amount of $52.50. Also, don't forget, a lot of people forget this, that your application for your permit must be notarized. Now, there is a small fee, and we can do that here at the Sheriff's Office, or you can get it notarized prior to bringing that in on Thursdays. There is a $10 administrative fee that can be cash or check. The checks can be made out to the Sheriff's Office. That's for the fingerprinting fee and our process of doing that. You must have your original training certificate from a certified instructor, and it must be valid within the past 10 years. So if you've taken a CCW class and you've yet to get your CCW permit or fill out your application and turn it in, just remember that you have had to take that class within the last 10 years prior to submitting your application for approval. And you must also have a state-issued valid ID or proof of residency If you've recently moved here from out of state, you haven't changed your driver's license yet, but Colorado, Montezuma County specifically, is your place of residency, you must bring some other proof of residency if your ID is not a Colorado ID. We strongly encourage anybody, if you do have questions regarding the CCW permit process, how to obtain them, what classes are authorized, what instructors are authorized. Again, we refer you to the website, but please feel free to call us and ask any questions that you might have. This is another edition of the Montezuma County Sheriff's Office Weekly Update on Mesa Media Productions. I'm Detective Lieutenant Tyson Cox. We'll see you next week.